Hi, everybody. This is Ken Kibler with eTruck Biz, Director of Sales. I'd like to thank you for joining us today regarding our presentation on the Transportation Business Academy. This has been a long-term development and really a much-needed product that we are going to be offering to the industry simply because our customers have asked us, and there's just no other training for your drivers or your management people who are going to manage drivers out there in the marketplace. Part of our investment has been adding staff to this. One of the staff members that we have added is Mike Gear. He's a longtime transportation veteran, also with a background in training and development. So we have brought him on board. I'm going to introduce Mike, or have Mike introduce himself, and he will be covering basics and the purpose of this Transportation Business Academy. And once again, thank you for attending. And if you would like, please hold your questions to the end, and we'll be able to address them at that time. So without further ado, Mike.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Mike Gear, and I have joined the eTruck Biz family back in July as we start to develop and bring on board and bring online this exciting new Transportation Business Academy that we're starting in January. One of the things that everybody seems to go through in this industry is some transportation struggles. I worked for FedEx for over 13 years, and then I've worked in the transportation industry from delivering donuts to medicine to Amazon. So some of the struggles that can happen is leaders out there, they find themselves like they just can never catch up. Their operations never seem to have an off day. They always seem to be behind the eight ball. The TBA has been designed specifically to reduce that stress by taking the leaders, especially the frontline leaders, through a set of learning modules that we've developed specifically to help demonstrate confidence and skills in all aspects of the operations. What happens is the leaders come out of that, our modules and our certification program, with the tools they need to move the operation forward, much past just trying to catch up the day-to-day or just getting the trucks on the road. It really makes both their lives and an owner's life or whoever the upper management is in that organization much easier and more profitable. We've decided to do that now because the stresses of the transportation industry just keeps mounting, and we've heard it from you guys and our customers across the board that once again they just can't ever seem to catch up. So the last mile industry really needs a standard, really needs a place where you can send leaders to get the right information, the right tools in their toolbox to go back and not only face the day-to-day grinds, but take the business forward. Take the business forward, make it profitable, operate it safely, and any other tenets that you find very important in your business. Got a lot of new investors, a lot of people that are joining into the FedEx ground and looking to contract and such, and they don't have a lot of transportation experience. The Transportation Business Academy can help those people as well, whether you recruit a BC from outside another industry or you're brand new yourself. It's given us it's going to give people a certified program and modules designed to handle each and every aspect of your business. Part of it is leadership. We all know that one of the biggest struggles in any sort of operation, I had it on the dock in FedEx, I've had it on the dock in other transportation areas where I've been managing, both with not only frontline leaders, but it could be drivers, is the leadership and how leaders need to match their leadership to the readiness level of their employees. Everybody has employees at different levels. You got that old, reliable employee that knows everything in the building that you don't have to manage very much, and then you've got brand new guys where you really need to focus your attention on and be specific in what you tell them. We're using a tried and tested method, situational leadership. It's a theory, and it's a way to meet your managers, to meet your employees and your team members where they're at on any given task. So you match yourself and bring your leadership style, or your frontline leader takes their learned leadership style to match where the employee is on any sort of task, whether it's new or just expanding some roles. What this does is it helps to build confidence, and it also helps to really move the BCs especially forward, because they get more confidence, they get more skills, they're able to handle situations as we move through. Situational leadership, the principle helps leaders and helps them to evaluate very quickly where a team member might be, and also so then they match their leadership style to where that team member is. This is something that's used in FedEx Ground. It's something that me and some other FedEx Ground people that are in our company, we all have taken it. They continue to use it to this day, and we feel that it's a very strong principle, situational leadership, for frontline leaders to use and to manage. You know, having a Transportation Business Academy now, it also makes untrained BCs obsolete. We can increase confidence, we can increase compliance, we can increase their leadership skills by going through the Transportation Business Academy. What we had before and what we have now with the TBA is just a couple of different changes. Actually, they're big changes. We used to offer just 2 single classes, some leadership and some engineering. That is, of course, the core of really operating any business. But now with the TBA, we've expanded out and added a certification process. So each module within the TBAs that I'm going to talk about there are 4 tracks with 2 modules per track. Each of these modules go through leadership, systems and processes, engineering, and compliance, safety, and maintenance. That compliance is not only for safety compliance, but also contractual compliance. We go through all 4 tracks: the leadership, the systems and processes, the engineering, and also the compliance and safety and maintenance like I talked about. We will have knowledge checks as your leaders go through it, or you go through it, to make sure that they're staying on track. And at the end, they will become a certified operations manager, or BC. We're really excited about this because it's a way to send people in there and, once again, get the tools they need to not only just handle those day-to-day obstacles that you guys battle with day in and day out, especially this time of year in peak, but also move your business forward. It's really recommended for BCs or managers or operations managers or general managers in the FedEx Ground world, and also in the Amazon world as well. Those frontline leaders, any frontline leader will take away a lot of great skills and a lot of great tools from this new Transportation Business Academy.
Hey, Mike, can I add there? And this is both for line haul and pickup and delivery. Granted, they have different challenges, but that leadership and matching that leadership style to the readiness of employee is also very functional in the line haul market. And analyzing reports in line haul and P&D are 2 different things, but still very important and still can be learned at this academy.
That's absolutely correct, Ken. It's a great point. Leadership carries to whatever you do, especially if you have line haul operations now and you get into P&D or vice versa. You need to have strong leadership out on the front lines, dealing with the drivers, dealing with FedEx Ground and or Amazon if you're in that sort of in that business or that part of the transportation. These skills really transfer across the whole gamut of manager leader. So, you know, track number 1 is leadership, and like we talked about, it's broken up into 2 modules. The first one is SL1, or Situational Leadership 1. It's really it's good for new hires or people that don't have a lot of experience managing. We talk about moving from a peer to a manager. We talk about the different types of readiness that an employee might be at. We also talk about, we go into documentation, what's proper documentation, and really start to set the stage as we move through the rest of the modules. Situational Leadership 2 provides understanding what type of leader you are, what type of style you lean on, and how other styles you might need to develop. Helps to make you a more well-rounded manager, helping to answer that question, what do I need to do in this situation with this employee at any time? We also start to talk about the HR side and recruiting, and from interviewing and recruiting and the need to recruit all the time, and how we document that all the way through keeping good records, good employee records. That rolls us right into track 2, which is systems and processes. That expands on human resources. It goes into more depth in how you set up, training plans or recruiting plans and documentation, payroll, and all those types of aspects that go with how do you hold difficult conversations, holding people accountable when things aren't going the way they should. And then the second part of that is technology. How do you use technology like an eTruck business system to help manage the important aspects of your business day in and day out, the data, stops per route, stops per hour, the financial analysis, and also into some of the safety functions that the eTruck Biz Business can help with. Track number 3, it's one that I know will be very popular, engineering as well. It is also in 2 modules. The first one is ops engineering. How do you set it up? How do you set up your DRO? How many stops do you need to put on a truck to be profitable? All the basics that you need, how to handle peak and how to continue and find out what your measurement should be for peak. We talk about the power of one. And then in the second, we go into actual P&D methods, working the truck. That's where the real efficiency comes out on the road, as you guys may or may not know. Delivery methods for all types of different types of vehicles that you might be having or might be using, and really some hands-on delivery P&D methods and some hands-on examples and some interaction with both all the everybody in the class, but with the instructors as well.
Mike, this is Dave Bowen, the Director of Client Consulting and Training. I just want to jump in here on something real important Mike just said. The hands-on approach that Transportation Business Academy is something that's really different. No one else is really doing this. People look at learning as a key to success, and that's not really the key to success. It's the applied learning that's the key to success. So what we're doing with the Transportation Business Academy is taking the learning about the process and the business. We really desire to speed up your learning curve, help you understand what it takes to run the business, but then work on practical skills that help you apply what you've learned to actually make an impact on the business. We're looking to test your skill competencies for the BCs that come through it, for the owners or the AOs, the authorized officers and or investors that own the business. We'll teach you and talk about how do you make sure that these skills can be implemented and generate direct results. This hands-on approach and practicing those skills or actually applying the learning is a true key to success. And this Transportation Academy is a different offering to help ensure you get good learning environment, the opportunity to practice those skills, get tested on those skills, and then start your success journey to make sure that you can apply those skills effectively and impact your business. And we will additionally offer support as you get back into your business, taking these skills so you can learn to apply them. Not everybody learns right away, right? We're not always good at a skill right away. We've got to implement it, fail, learn from it, adjust, and then apply that adjusted skill as we go through it. That's one of the key things, this hands-on approach to the Transportation Business Academy that differentiates it and is something that will help ensure your applied learning as a key to your success.
That's a great point, Dave. We're so excited to be able to do this in a controlled environment, right? Giving people the opportunity to learn, opportunity to practice, like Dave said, an opportunity to maybe not do it so well, but then to come back and learn from those mistakes and really take it back and be able to put it into practice. We've all been through meetings and seminars and books or whatever where it's really good and it's all rah-rah there, but then once we get back out on the dock or back into the operation, it tends to get lost. Here we really, like Dave said, we really want to focus on really being interactive with our members that are at the seminars and making sure that they take home the skills once again that they need and are able to put them into practice almost immediately once they get there. One more track was compliance for both the contract and also safety and maintenance compliance. We'll talk about, first one is compliance. The first module is DOT regulations, CSS scores, loss prevention, risk assessment, all that stuff that can really rack up a lot of financial problems within a business if they're not managed. And then the second part, another big cost to everybody, is maintenance. So reporting the best practices with maintenance, the cost control, preventive regimen, pre-trips, going out for safety job rides, and all that kind of stuff. So that's the 4 tracks: leadership, systems and processes, engineering, and then track 4, which is compliance, safety, and maintenance. Like I said, we're going to provide some in-demand skills that we can take across the transportation, environment. You'll learn efficiency, how to work smarter and not harder. We want you to run profitable. We want you to run good. We want your leaders to be able to handle that when they get back to you. And you'll also learn the operational analytics. So what's important? How do I make money? How do I make money at this? And that's a key metric for everybody in the business. Once again, we learn the management fundamentals, going from maybe a lead driver to the BC, from a BC to an AO, from an AO to maybe the actual owner or investor in the business. These management fundamentals through situational leadership that we're going to be teaching is something that's going to be really, really valuable to anybody that comes to this class as they move through their career in really whatever they do. Whatever they do, whatever they decide to do, and how they grow in their own career, if they are managing people, which we all basically are. So the seminars start in January. Our first ones start the 10th and 11th. That'll be Situational Leadership 1. If you want to register a seat, you can at tba.arlo.co. If you go there, it will show you all the classes are scheduled. It'll also show you our great location, which is here in Tampa. Downtown, down on the Riverwalk. It's a beautiful location. A lot of cool things to see down and around. So when you're out of class, there's a lot of stuff in the downtown area of Tampa to do as well. If you open up that arlo.co.contact us, you can see where you can send us a message, enter your details so we know about you, and we can reach out and help you answer your questions, help you get started, and really, really bring this brand new Transportation Business Academy into your operations, into making yourself or your leaders being better and stronger, and really taking away that daily grind that you guys face each and every day, and letting your operations not only catch up and feel like they're caught up, but actually to move forward. We're really, really excited about this, and we're really excited to get started. Ken, if we got any questions, we could get to those.
The first question is, why do I want to make this investment?
I think I can go ahead and answer that. Basically, There is a cost to turnover in any operation, and all too often it's not seen. That can cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $8,000 for each turnover. The more you invest in your staff, the less likely they are to turn over, and you're going to see that they're going to get better results. If they know how to analyze the business, they will know how to learn how to take the corrective steps to correct behavior, improve productivity. And once again, 45% of your costs comes from your labor. If you can reduce your labor really just minimally by 1 stop per hour per driver day, you're going to have significant financial improvements on your labor. If they understand the cost with maintenance and how to schedule preventive maintenance and manage that, once again, you're going to have reduced costs in maintenance. So all of those things will come back. That investment is going to be paid for probably in the first month that person comes back and starts to implement these sound management practices. So I hope that addresses that question.
Yes, I think you did, and you may have addressed another one that was, what kind of ROI should I expect?
I'll just add that as you look and apply these skills, you train your eye to see your operation differently. You can look and find areas that by the power of just one stop per hour, one stop at a time, you can make improvements and spread that work across some capacity that you may have in your business. Spread your work across the existing drivers that you have. If you take one route off the road, that can be an annual savings of up to $75,000 per year, as Ken was mentioning, between the labor, the fuel, and the maintenance. So that's a huge return on investment long term that the Transportation Business Academy is designed to have you see your business in a new light and look and recognize those opportunities, one step at a time.
Yeah, Dave really touched on it very well. But once again, one of the things coming out of the academy is you being able to, or those leaders being able to put it in action right away. So making that one stop or taking whatever goal you have. Once again, we're going to give them the tools, let them put it in their toolbox, but be able to operate and use those tools immediately once they get back. That's what I was going to add to that.
Someone asked, where else can I get this type of training?
Right now, we believe there is absolutely nobody else offering this training and led by a group of people with the experience in the transportation industry that eTruckBiz is offering. There might be some people to offer you some online classes. Once again, you're not in a hands-on environment. They're not offering any kind of certification for those classes. Once again, why? Because they're not testing and confirming understanding of the knowledge, and they're not following up on results. All of those things are going to be offered by eTruckBiz and the Transportation Business Academy. And, you know, there are other people like FedEx would love to give this training, but they simply can't do it because that's going to have them cross into the land where they cannot go, where it's going to be manner, methods, and means. They want you to get this training. They're going to be happy that we're giving it. And quite frankly, there's nobody else out there that's going to be able to match the level of training that you or your managers are going to receive at our academy.
Well, thank you, Ken. I got another one that may be appropriate for you to answer. They said they heard that banks want people to attend these classes before they will lend them the money. Have you heard anything like that? Is that true? They want to know?
I believe that to be true, and it only makes good business sense. It's funny, just before we got on this call, I had a person looking for a business plan. Well, you know, eTruckBiz has always offered an RFI wizard. Well, guess what's going to be in that business plan? They're going to want, the bank is going to want to know that you have a plan for your business to be successful. And any business can only be as successful as its leaders. And if your leaders are certified, if your leaders are trained properly, guess what? That business has a much greater chance of being successful. So I would believe if I was applying for a small business loan and putting a business plan forward to a bank or to investors, I would want to be able to put out there that I have certified business managers to run this operation, and they have been trained by the best in the field.
Thank you for that answer. Dave, I got a question for you. Someone asked, do I have to send someone to everything all at once? I know Mike showed a slide about that.
It's a great question. No, this was designed because every operation is different. Everyone has different deficiencies. Each business contact or operations manager has different skill sets they bring to the table. We've designed this to be highly customizable, so you can pick which area do you want to address first and send your operations manager to that very specifically. It also allows flexibility where we will repeat these courses, these modules throughout the year, so you'll have an opportunity to pick and choose what works best in your schedule. So there will be repeated offerings for you to go through and schedule accordingly to what works with your operation. So you can pick and choose where to start, what strength you want to get, and then you can also customize it to what fits best in your schedule. Ultimately, we recommend getting certified in all 4 tracks and all 8 modules, but you get to customize it and pick and choose. So there's a lot of flexibility built into this program for you.
Mike, question for you. Someone asked, you talked about certification. Is it once you complete all 8 courses, or does each track, can you get certified for a track or a module? How does that work? How does the certificates or what you get from that work?
Well, in order to be certified, you are going to need to go through all 8 tracks. That's going to just give you the Transportation Business Academy certification. You know, that stamp you can put in your business plan, that stamp that as a BC or as a frontline manager you can take, and if should you decide to move on, use it as part of your own portfolio. We will have knowledge checks between topics within the modules, so we'll have some fun activities that help you and help them make sure they're staying on track with what they know. but also there will be kind of a final exam at the end of each module too, as well. So the certification, we need all 4 tracks or all 8 modules for the actual certification, but we will be doing a knowledge check and a kind of a mini final certification at the end of each of the tracks.
Somebody said, where do you do this? And I believe you mentioned that, but just remind the folks where this academy is.
We've got a location in downtown Tampa, Florida, about 25 minutes from the airport. There are several options for hotels down around that area. Obviously, downtown Tampa, it's a great place to be. It's right on the water, right on the waterfront, and there's a lot of different activities down there for everything from an aquarium and museums to restaurants and just a really nice river walk that people can spend some time on. Located right there on Harbor Island, right on the water. It's a really, really great place to come and a great place to learn about the TDA.
Remind the folks why FedEx offer this. Did you address that?
I did. FedEx cannot offer this training. They'd love to, but they can't because they're going to go into the manner, methods, and means. And the minute they cross into those waters, they're opening themselves up to lawsuits. And FedEx is not a fan of being sued, and they've been sued enough lately that they're not going to venture back into that water again with the manner, methods, and means.
Ben, and I just want to touch on, this is Dave, I just want to touch on one other thing. You know, in today's FedEx Ground world, it's heavy in chaos, going through peak, there's a lot of unpredictability, it's heavily task-oriented, a lot of things, a lot of demands on your operators and your leader. You can get stuck where you get pulled into the daily grind. Mike mentioned that earlier, where the day runs you or all the tasks and different things, especially going through peak right now. As we're talking about this. Well, it can be very challenging to choose your actions as you get bounced around with day-to-day priorities. Well, I think we can all agree that certain key actions lead to success. The 5 pillars that we go through in running a small business, a small transportation business, we will cover those key actions that go to success. The whole hands-on training approach to this, you can work on your business while you're at the academy, so as you go back, you can actually apply what you've already started and look for results right away. Key thing on those actions is learning how to navigate that and not let the day run you, but you run the day. You can overcome the daily grind. So if you're feeling those pressures and whatnot, going through the Transportation Business Academy is going to help make your business easier to run. You will see increased profitability, why everybody's in business. It will also allow you to uphold the contract and the regulatory requirements of running a transportation company.
Hopefully that has answered everybody's question. Hopefully everybody sees the value of sending you and your management team to the academy.
We're excited to have you guys come and start learning more and making your businesses better.
Fantastic. All right, with that, we'll wrap up this demo and wish everybody a safe and productive and profitable peak. And thank you for your time today.